Hey everyone, my name is Ashley Meyer. I'm founder of Believe to Achieve Team and Two-Star Diamond Coach. Today I want to share with you how to run a mentorship group and why I feel it's important to run a mentorship group. Now I'll tell you right now that these are going to take time because you're really focusing and working one-on-one with some coaches depending on how many you're available to start mentoring. So it takes up time, but the value behind it is priceless. The relationships that you build and the leadership that you build in those mentorship groups are tremendous. And I've only done it one full month already. I've started my second one, and I can already tell you the difference in how these coaches are acting, responding, and the growth in the team and organization. So let me share my screen with you here. All right. So first of all, when you're starting a mentorship group, very first thing I want to tell you is that this isn't about you. Yes, you may have a goal to become a 5-star diamond coach or a 10-star diamond coach or 15-star diamond coach or whatever it may be. You have a goal, but your focus is not on you. You're running this mentorship because when you're building leaders, you're building your team. When you're showing them and focusing and directing them on the little, vital, daily, consistent task, they're going to form that habit and they're going to be able to mentor their coaches. Because I don't know about you guys, but I know that sometimes in my team, I feel like, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this. All right, where are my coaches? Who wants to help me do this? Or who wants to help me run this? And I don't feel like I get a lot of action in it. So this is important to build that leadership by working one-on-one and focusing on what their whys are. Like really dig down deep. So first of all, what can you handle? You're going to have to know that this takes up time and you set your expectations. So first of all, maybe you're like, okay, I only want to do 2 people. I only want to work with 2 coaches one-on-one. For me, I ran with 4 girls and my expectations were we had 1 group weekly call. I set the time. I gave them 2 different options and they all agreed that the one would work the best. So it worked out perfect. And then we had one-on-one calls. Like you had to do your one-on-one call and you had to be on the group call. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So I created a video to put out to my team and I'm just like, hey you guys, I've got this amazing opportunity. I am set out to run a mentorship group. Now let me tell you a little bit about this. First of all, if you're interested in this, I want to tell you there's no excuses in this. I am looking for people who want to grow the business. So if you have a goal or a dream to fire your boss, to not work your 9-to-5 job, or to build your organization to bring a spouse home, or to be a stay-at-home mom, whatever that goal is to truly build this by helping others, then this is for you. I'll tell you right now, it's going to be tough love. I'm going to direct you. I'm going to expect you to not just listen, but to take what I'm telling you and to apply it. There's no excuses. You're going to be joining a group call every single week. You're going to be joining a one-on-one call every single week. So you need to show up to those. So if this is something that you're interested in, then create a video that is 2 minutes or less and send it to my email by such and such date. I will pick who I'm going to work with by this date, and I'll make a video and get you in the group. So if you're saying that you can only work with 2 coaches, don't pick more than 2 coaches. Why? Because you're leading in with the Pearl Gem. If you don't know anything about that, Danny Johnson, we want to help everyone. And the mentorship group is not to help everyone. It's to work directly to build leaders and to build them and focus them on the basic stuff so that they can fly free, that they will know what to do. And, they'll still know that, like my girls know that they can still come to me now, that we can still do one-on-one calls, except they're going to have to be like 15 minutes at a time right now because I'm working with another mentorship group. But I know that they've heard everything that they need to. So anyways, give them direction on what to do, what you're looking for, and you need to set your expectations on what you want to do and what you can handle. Because as a leader, if you're like, hey, there's no excuses or whatever, and all of a sudden you've got something that's coming up or whatever, and you're like, oh, well, I can't. You're not leading by example. I had one incident where I completely forgot about a dentist appointment, and I was like, hey girl, I was like, I'm so sorry. Can we switch this just this time, a little bit later? And it worked out great. Like, we switched it around. It's not like I was not giving up on her. I would have rescheduled my dentist appointment. However, to get in there, it's like 2 months, not going to wait that long. So I have a Bible verse that I put down there, and it says, where there is no vision, the people will perish. It's Proverbs 29:18. And it just really, really sets that example of you guys setting the vision for your team, you guys setting the vision for what this mentorship group is all about, and you guys setting the vision for them with their whys. So next, okay, so you're going to be the leader. And that means that you have to have the courage to make tough decisions. Again, I said it. I had 8 people that joined, and normally the Ashton before would have been like, yeah, we'll make it work. We'll do it all. No. Nope, it would have failed. It would have failed. The mentorship group wouldn't have, become its purpose. It would have failed. And like, for instance, like an airplane, like, what's the purpose? And some people will be like, okay, it's just to get you from point A to B. Okay, well, what if that plane went from A to B, but it didn't drop you off? Would it have fulfilled its purpose? Well, based on what people say, it gets you from A to B, just like a car does. No, that's not its full purpose, because you could have a plane that's going from A to B, A to B, A to B, B to A, but not dropping off or picking up people. And it's not fulfilling its purpose. Its purpose is to load passengers to take people to a destination that they want to go to. So back to the mentor group. What is your focus? What is your goal? Like, what is that vision? Is this a mentorship group to help them achieve diamond, like a push to diamond, but you're going to work one-on-one because you're letting them know it's hard to work with a team of 200, 300, 400, even 50 people and give them everything that they need, because we don't all need the same things. So make that tough decision, pick your people, and go with it. Announce it, create a video. I posted a video on our team page announcing the mentorship group. I then loaded in the 4 girls into a separate private Facebook group. And in that group, I welcomed them as well in there, just being like, I'm so proud of you guys. I feel like this is going to be a great thing for you. And then I asked them, I'm like, all right, in the files, there is my Evernote document so that you have like all of the major scripts and documents that I use. Also in the files, I want you to provide with your name as the title. I want to know what your rank goal is. I want to know what your income goal is. I want to know your gem. Again, if you guys don't follow the gems, that's understandable, but I personally like to know what gem my coach is, because I know what's going to motivate them. So, and also put in there like then what their struggle is and what their strength is. I want to know like one struggle and one strength, because I want to know where I can then direct them to keep building up their strengths, and also where their struggle is that I can kind of help them with. However, the strengths is what we truly need to continuously build up, because if you think about it, there was this one book and it stated something about how no matter how much you build up your weakness or your struggle, it's still going to be your weakness and struggle. So you need to continue to build up your strengths and work with your strengths. But then, of course, you can, there are struggles and stuff that we continuously work on. But anyways, okay, so that's what I did. I had the girls posted in there, and I wrote this down. I had these little note cards that I kept for myself as far as the girls, so that I knew, okay, what are we working on? What's going on? So the very, very first group call that we set up, I was like, all right, I want to go over their goals. I'm going to set the expectations. I'm going to pump up their belief, because this is what it's all about. Mindset is first. Once you have the mindset, yes, you need to learn and take action. But if you don't believe in yourself, you don't believe in the product, you don't believe that you can be the type of coach that you want to be, you're not going to do it. So I was going over the girls. I had them all on there. I had them muted. I talked for a little bit, like how I was excited. And then I was like, all right, so we're going to go over your goals. So I would take one of the girls and I'm like, all right, so your goal is to be diamond by December 31st. I was like, you know what? These are great goals, but I'm going to tell you right now that if you want diamond, you want it now. If you don't believe that there's an abundance of people out there, then you don't believe that. It's really not that hard to accomplish emerald and to accomplish diamond. It's hard work, but it's really not that hard or difficult. And the biggest part is I believe that that whole 2-star is truly where the magic happens. But so I'm like, if you want diamond, you want it now. You set a goal and you set it because you're going to push for it no matter what. But if you go back to Jen Sincero, You Are a Badass, you know, she talks about it. She's like, it's so funny because when you set a date to accomplish something, let's say you had an assignment for school and you had 6 months to accomplish it. It's going to take you 6 months to accomplish it because that's your goal date. But if you had that same exact project on someone else and they're like, all right, you got to do this in 2 weeks. How long is it going to take you to do it? 2 weeks. So set the expectations, but then let them know like, hey, if you don't hit it, it's okay. But this is the date that we're going to push for because I've seen people do it before. I know that people have accomplished diamond in 2 weeks. They just had to work for it. So set their dates then. I gave them 4 to 8 weeks. That was it. No more than 8 weeks. I didn't give them past 8 weeks. Then I looked over their income goal. I'm like, all right, so you're looking to do like 200 a week. Girl, that is great. We can set that as like a mile marker and everything. I'm like, but how would you truly feel if you started making 500 a week? Wow, that'd be great. What about 1,000 a week? I don't. What about 2,000 a week? You know, you see these girls like, really? Like no, like seriously, there are people in this organization making great weekly paychecks. And if you're not someone who is making that at this moment, it's okay. Talk about those that are in your upline who are achieving that success. And then of course, give them the disclaimer or let them know being like, you know, tell them the disclaimer. That would be the best. But anyways, the thing is that they are helping people. They are building leaders that are reaching out to more people and more people and more people. So their paychecks are a direct reflection of how many lives are changing. And if you're set out on this mission to go and reach out lives and help a ton of people, then you can grow that income. Like you can write your little goal of $100 per week and $200 per week, and that's great, and you can mark that off. But really look at this as a bigger picture. If you could be making, if I was like, here you go, here's a paycheck for $10,000 a week, would you love that? Yeah. Okay, well, why? Why would that be important for you? What would you do with that? So I got into their whys and everything. Like, I wanted to know, what do you want? And I wrote little notes for myself, like, you know, the one girl wants to be a stay-at-home mom, you know, or the one girl is a stay-at-home mom, but her husband's been bringing in the soul thing, and she was like, you know, it's really, really hard, and I'm struggling, and I feel like I'm gonna have to go get a 9 to 5 job. I'm like, all right, well then do something that you love and do it from home and still take care of your babies. So getting to know their whys and their goals and their dreams and everything. And I took notes for myself, but I also set up their beliefs. So the second call, and actually I didn't talk about this when we were doing our elite, is the second call that I did, and I truly kind of let everything go. It might have been the third call I actually did it. But the group calls after that, I let whatever was coming into my heart. I didn't have a set position. I told them I wasn't going to write anything down. I wasn't going to prepare. It was just going to be from the heart, because that's truly what it's all about. It's how you lead from your heart and who you are as a person, and bringing that belief, because honestly, I think we can all agree that belief in mindset's the hugest thing. And even if you can just be that motivational pump up, that's what you're going to focus on, because the one-on-one is where you're going to give the direction and the leading. Does that make sense? So, but anyways, I think it was the third call, and I had this come across my Facebook, and I was like, and it said, if you were to have $2 million, what would you do with it? And the reason that question, I was like, you know what, that'd be really, really good to ask them. So on my third call, and I'm glad that I remembered this because now I can do it with this group that I have, I asked them what they would do with $2 million. Because when you know what someone's going to do with $2 million, you know where their heart's at. You know what they like really, 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 truly, honestly want. So I had these girls, you know, they said getting out of debt. They said buying a new home. They said vehicles, charity. And I was like, oh, awesome. Like, what charity would you go for? And I got really, really specific, because what I did was I took what they wanted and I grabbed pictures from their Facebook as far as like them and their family. Then I also grabbed stuff like one wanted to go to Disney with their kids, so I grabbed a Disney photo from Google. I grabbed, honestly, I don't know if that's even okay, but I didn't get in trouble. I grabbed like a quote about being debt free. I grabbed a new home, like a really, really nice dream home picture. And I printed off those pictures, and I had these little itty bitty like plastic, they hold like 50 pictures or something, or maybe even 25. I put those in there. And that last week, right before that end of that fourth week, I sent that to them with a personal message to each of them, a personal note that I wrote to them about how proud I am for what they've accomplished so far. And I also sent them like a little personal development book each, but it was based on what I feel that they could use and need. And so it was nice, because when they got it, like there were emotions going, like these ladies had emotions. Like they're like, one of them made a video and she was about ready to go in tears. She was getting emotional because it means the world to them. Those personal gifts are so much more than anything else. So I just wanted to let you guys know about that here. Okay, so one-on-one calls. I said one-on-one calls needed to be a Zoom, or if you use any other type of stuff. I don't know about Google Hangout and stuff like that, but I wanted to do Zoom because I want to be able to show them their Facebook page and show them my Facebook page and show them different things that I can walk them through. So for one, like when our first calls, I would hit on their profile picture and cover photo. Those were the very, 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 very first things. And then I'd also start scrolling their news feed to see if they're posting 3 to 5 times a day. I'd go over the importance of why the profile picture is great to have of your face. Why? Because if I'm looking at a profile picture of a baby, is that who I'm talking to? Their cover photo, you know, some of them, as new coaches, you'll see put like Shakeology or like Body Beast or something on there, or like what's on sale. And I'm like, oh, I'm not going to do that. Don't do that. No, I want to know who you are. The products already sell themselves, you guys. The products already do it for themselves. But you will be the only difference that will make anything. So I went over that stuff. I went over the 3 to 5 times posting, and I kind of went over my daily to-do list and everything as well. I pointed out the great things about them first though, okay? So I pointed out, oh, this was a really, really great post, or I'm so, like your profile picture is awesome, amazing. And then point out what needs to be worked on, and then constantly tell them, I am going to be giving you tough love. I'm giving you direction because I've been in this business for how long? I'm not perfect, and I'm still learning every single day. But I can tell you that if you direct this way and it works, how will that make you feel? If it doesn't work, you can revert to something else. That's okay. But I'm telling you, take my direction and try it out. Not telling you to change who you are. I'm just telling you that you should be doing this and this and this. So one-on-ones, again, we also went to I went into walking through on some of their messages because they had people that they were talking to. And I read How to Win Friends and Influence People, absolutely a must read for anybody, because once you know how to speak with people, once you know how to direct messages, and once you know that the one that's asking the questions is the one that's leading the call, or I shouldn't say messages, but as well as call too, then that's when people are successful. When they're being interested and not being interesting because you're focused on what they want. Like I tell them, I'm like, your challengers are those people that are coming to you to become challengers. You are focused on 100% what their goal is and their dream is. And that's what I'm doing with you guys in this mentorship. I'm 100% focused on what your goal is. If you're telling me that you want to become a diamond coach, then I am going to push you and I'm going to run and you're going to follow. But I'm not going to do it for you. So these challengers, you're going to talk to them in a manner of being so interested in them and everything about their goal and dream because you know that the products work. When they're asking about, hey, what's the price? Follow my challenge group script that I provided for you. So I have that completely set out for them. Then the last thing to do is celebrate. Celebrate anything and everything. Like you celebrate them joining or bringing on a coach. You celebrate a Success Club point. You celebrate them for reaching out to 10 new people of the day. You celebrate and celebrate and celebrate. And I tracked on a whiteboard, I had down like their coaches and Success Club points and this and that. 2 of them ranked up. 1 of them hit Success Club. 2 of them were at Success Club 4. So that was kind of like, ugh. But then they all had coaches that they brought on as well too. So it truly was a huge difference from the previous month. Biggest thing here is that the mentorship group is really to focus and lead them to be leaders and to help them achieve their goals based on them and show them and walk them through. Like you are holding their hand, but they're walking with you. You're not dragging them. And that's what you need to tell them. You need to say, hey, if you're going to be successful in this business, it's going to be because of you. And if you're going to fail in this business, it's going to be because of you. I'm not going to walk you through this. Or I said that completely wrong. I'm not going to drag you through this. I can't do it for you. But however, I will be there to walk you through it, to guide you, and to help build the business together. So I hope that that helped you guys understand more about the mentorship. This is really how you want to run it, how you want to do it. But when you can get in and work one-on-one with these coaches about how they need help, you're going to progress them faster than trying to do it all over the place and in a huge group. Also, a nice thing was that the 4 of them grew a bond together. I mean, we all grew a bond together. Like it's something that we have that I didn't have before. Like I got to know them better. I got to know their dreams. I got to know their goals even more. And I know that we do that in the Get Started Right call, but how many coaches are you doing Get Started Right calls with? Like this was a 4-week where I know more about them. They can work together now too. So be strategic on like who you're picking as well. Like, okay, do you think that these will really, really work together with? Also, like I had 10 people. It kind of worked out perfect because I went on like who did it first, like a lot of who put in their videos first, as well as like where I was focused on. So I picked one for my left leg, one for my right leg, and also the same thing in my second CBC. So it was kind of nice to see that growth right there. But anyways, I hope that this really helps. I'm so excited to hear how your mentorship goes, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.